What's up guys, Shawnee Dogs here, and what we have today is quite possibly the best update that Infinite Warfare has had. Even though this was only a playlist update, they have changed so many things for the better. And the first thing, this is just the tip of the iceberg. You can go and collect a free summer supply drop. They just added this in as of 1 p.m. Eastern, and it will give you a little supply drop inception. Inside is another free rare supply drop, so that's just the icing on the cake. We haven't even cracked the surface yet. My man David Mickner came through in the clutch. He's one of the multiplayer designers over at Infinity Ward, and he dropped us a very ambiguous message on Twitter yesterday. Oh, tomorrow's gonna be a good day. Probably. Well, he did not disappoint, my friends. Now we get into the good stuff. We have a brand new deal in the Quartermaster. It refreshed. If you guys remember the last one, it was a legendary supply drop bundle and it was a complete ripoff. It was overpriced and they had it at a much lower price earlier in the game's life cycle. It was the same one and it wasn't really worth it at all. Now what we have is the no dupe bundle. This has not been seen before in the game. They even added these nice little sparkles to go along with it, entice you further. Let me read this to you guys, and you gotta comprehend this for a second. For 450 keys, you will get a bundle of 30 dupe protected rare supply drops. Now, just to put that in perspective, if you were to go out and buy 30 rare supply drops on your own, it would be 900 keys. This is 450 keys, so it is 50% off. I would not encourage you to spend COD points to go out and buy this. It is up for an entire week, so it has 2 purchases that you are able to get this. You can only get it 2 times, no more. So you can save up 900 keys. If you can manage to get that in a week, you can lock in 2 of these and get 60 dupe protected items from the supply drop system. If you already have the keys saved up, before you go ahead and buy this thing and start opening them up, if you're someone like me who has 166 rare supply drops and 87 common supply drops just laying around, you want to open those up first because you want to have as many items as possible. Remember, from rare supply drops, even though they're going to get you better stuff, you're going to get a lot of commons out of those too. So you want to get as many commons as you possibly can before you open these, so it reduces your chances of getting dupe protected common items. For those of you who have been grinding this game non-stop, this thing is a godsend. Say if you've spent thousands and thousands of keys, maybe even COD points, and you've almost got every single thing from this Quartermaster, this will instantly get you everything that you do not have. Now, I don't think this will be the case for anyone because they released this at a very smart time. Because they're adding all of this new content into the game, all these epic camos and things like that, even if you only have, say, like a few epic weapons to get, you might not get all of them because they added so many camos. There's like 8 different ones for all of the weapons. You're going to get a lot of those, even if you have most of the Quartermaster filled out. So there's always a catch. It would have been nice if they released this before they added all these new summer camos into the game, but I'll take what I can get. It's a small victory for us. It is a very, very good deal. Just don't go out and spend COD points, or it will further encourage them to keep doing things like this, say, in COD World War II. That is the last thing I want. They've already announced that the supply drops in that game, it will purely be cosmetic items. But we know how that has gone. They've said that about every single game that they've had supply drops in, and it never ends up that way. They never just stick with cosmetics. They gotta add variants, the whole 9 yards, and nobody likes it. But they're making money off it, and it will continue. I would not be surprised if we see weapon variants in COD World War II. I know a lot of you are probably sitting there and you're like, come on dude, open this no dupe bundle, let's see what you get. Well, there's only one small problem. I have 55 keys, so what I'm thinking of doing, although I haven't been able to live stream because of my awful internet, when I did that last supply drop opening, the stream did hold up pretty well at the beginning when I was opening up supply drops. It only had problems when I was in game. So I'm thinking of doing a massive supply drop opening. I don't know if it's the biggest one that's been done ever in Infinite Warfare, but it's definitely the biggest one that I will be doing. I'll be opening up more than 300 supply drops in total, and we'll see what I can get. Out of those 300 supply drops, I will be opening up all 60 of those dupe protected rare supply drops at the end. So I'll make sure to get my hands on those. So I'll be building up my keys, and I will set up an event. So make sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications if you want to know when that live stream will be coming up. I'm excited because besides when they add new stuff into the Quartermaster and I show you guys those bundles and I buy those, I don't ever open up supply drops. I've just been saving them and saving them. and I'm gonna go all out, spend them all at once. It should be a lot of fun, and there is actually more to this update. Get this, they took out kill trading from the game. I know at least in hardcore, that was the worst thing ever. Because you kill in one bullet, there were so many kill trades happening in that game mode, it was almost broken. Even in core, which is what I spend most of my time playing, although technically it is supposed to make things a little bit fairer in terms of connection, there's just something about it, it leaves both players dissatisfied, and every single person in the community was constantly complaining about it, and they finally listened to our feedback. I know Infinite Warfare gets a lot of hate along with the other jetpacking games. Every single time they release like a new trailer when there's new DLC, it gets so many dislikes just for no reason because it has the title Infinite Warfare and there's jetpacking in the game. It's completely unnecessary, and even though they have to deal with all this, they still do their best to listen to the community and they try to give us what we want. It's very hard to do that on a large scale, but at least they're trying. I'm not on this COD hate train when it comes to jetpacks. When I play this game, and I have played this game for hundreds of hours, it is the smoothest gameplay of any Call of Duty. It is so fun to play, and anyone who says that they hate this game or they hate jetpacks, I can guarantee you that that opinion either came from listening to other big Call of Duty YouTubers, or it's the people that just never adapted to jetpacks. They're like, oh my god, this guy's jumping all over the place. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. If they put jetpacks in the game, you're not supposed to just sit there and not use them. I'm tired of hearing all the hateful comments coming from this game. It's really getting old, but that's just my 2 cents. I'm sure there's a million other opinions out there. I'm just telling you what I believe, and what you're seeing right now is actually 2 other changes that were made to the game in one. First off, guys, Genesis is back. It's been out of the rotation for quite some time now. If you've been watching my videos, you'll know exactly why. There was a glitch on this map. You could glitch inside one of the pillars, actually the one that I just shot right there, and it was ruining the game. So they took it out of the rotation and took the time to fix it. The other change is that they removed Capture the Flag as the featured game mode, and they've replaced it with this epic gun game. You've seen this before. You basically get to try out every single epic weapon in the game. It changes from game to game. I'm pretty sure everything's just randomized, the attachments and the weapons, but it's a pool of everything out there. If you decided to play this CTF game mode when it was out, you'll know that the spawns were absolutely ridiculous. If you ran in that game mode with a 6-man party, you could absolutely destroy the other team. If your people you were playing with were good, you could get to the point where you were spawn trapping people and they were just spawning in the same spot again and again. Very similar to Demolition when they had that in here. But that whole game mode basically turned into an XP farm. It was the fastest way to rank up. But now that it's out of the mix, if you guys don't know this, the reason why I was showing that Turista gameplay before, that's the new map that they made free for everyone. If you check your featured playlist, along with this epic gun game, they have the Turista 24/7 2x XP playlist. The downside, you have to play Turista over and over again. In my opinion, it's not the greatest map out there. Visually, it looks really nice. I like what they did with it, but the way it plays, I'm just not a fan. But if you want the most XP possible, you're not going to beat 2x XP. That's the only game mode that has it. And if you have double XP tokens, you can have a whopping 4x XP. So even if there's other game modes out there where you're going to get like a higher score in one game, you're not going to end up getting double what you can get in Turista. It's just not possible unless you're comparing like a really good player to a really bad player. But if it's the same player going from game mode to game mode, that is your best bet in terms of leveling up. Before I go, I mentioned to you guys the notification squad. I had a little special gift for you guys. I will be picking one person every week, at least one person, maybe more if I have time, from the notification squad that I will be getting a live comm nuke for on the channel. I actually did just get the nuke for the first person that won this week, and that will be in a video in the next few days. So make sure, if you haven't already, to turn on your notifications, and if you are one of the first people from the notification squad to watch and like my videos, just take a screenshot and @ me on Twitter. I usually retweet the first 2 or 3 tweets on each of my videos if you want an example to go by, but it's very easy to do, and you could end up with the next live comm nuke. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to drop a like, comment down below with any thoughts or questions you may have, and as always, subscribe to the channel if you guys are brand new for some more great videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.